Happy Monday, everyone. Luna, nice to see you. Nadia, hey. I almost sent you a message wondering, I haven't seen you for a long time. I mean, obviously you don't have to come, but I was just wondering how things are going. I hope everything is okay. I hope everyone has had a better weekend than I've had, at least, or a calmer weekend, I should say, and that you've enjoyed yourself. It's, I've been thinking a lot about, I've dealt with distortion myself, like pretty strong distortion, and it's interesting to see how it manifests itself, and how when you deal with things, there are different things that, if you have something very specific that's happening now, it's kind of easy to look at that and feel the pressure you have towards it. But when you have something that's a bit vague, then you can't really touch, especially if it's spread out of time. It goes from being a sharp pain to this kind of general uncomfortable feeling. And I'm just saying, I was in hospital with flu. I was very sick, much better now. I missed you all. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that's pretty serious. I mean, you're young, so going to the hospital for the flu is I hope it's better, and that you will be better. Dealing with stress that is spread out over time, or should we say conflict, tension, whatever you want to call it, the spread out over time is much more difficult to deal with than if you have something specific. And especially when you just want to find a good solution for everyone, so everyone's happy, and you don't really know what people want, you don't know what people are doing, and it's difficult to find a path forward. The feeling that comes from that is kind of just this low-level rumbling distortion, and it creates stress. It creates stress in the body, especially if you're like me, been burnt out before, and you've had to deal with like the nervous system just not functioning. So then like that low level and stress in the background, distortion, can become overwhelming, and it just wears you down much more than it should. It's more difficult to look at something vague than something specific. So we spoke last time about how one of the good things that comes from having something difficult in your life is that it gives you this polarity, because you can see, wait a minute, this is so dumb. I don't want to have this. Why am I doing this? I can clearly see how I am here, but this pain here is like, why I don't need to have this, and I'm creating this distance here. Let's see, Mats is saying, good evening, everyone. Good to have you back, Nadia. I hope you're feeling all right again. Sue, good evening, everyone. Nice to see you as well. And Nicole is here as well. Hey, everyone. Glad you're better, Nadia. And Mindful Mama also, good evening. Wow, it's the whole gang is back. So looking at these difficult things that come up, especially if you have an incident that happened that really hurts you, you can kind of stand there and feel, okay, here I am, like this is where I feel I am, and then I feel like I'm having something, I don't want this feeling, so you create pressure against that. And if you look at that long enough, and it's kind of just natural, I think, when people do this, either they go nuts, or they go, okay, well, this is dumb, and they just stop doing it. You just kind of let go of it eventually, because it's so specific, and it's easier actually to work with. It's easier to shift, because you can go from that, and then you can shift to being aware of your surroundings. When you do that, it feels two things. One is you don't want to do that, but the system goes, I don't want to go there because I actually want to be in this. I am contained in this distortion that I have, so I don't want to get away from that, because who would I be if I didn't feel bad? And you don't want to get away from it. And that makes it difficult to just move away, because you kind of pull back in. And the other thing is, when you actually do move in and just observe the world around you, it just drops away immediately. And you go, I mean, what happened now? I'm supposed to feel bad, and you kind of go back in. It almost feels like cheating. So you kind of go back and forth between these two things. The really nice thing when that's over is that there's usually a sense of relief. If you've been working with this, there's this sense of relief. It's like, oh, so nice, and then everything becomes clear, and you're more present, and you can see the contrast between feeling bad and feeling good, meaning having distortion and having less distortion. So you get that contrast of non-centricness, from being really tight, pushing against something, to just releasing and just being okay with being. Even though you still have a sense of self, the contrast between feeling that bad to feeling okay is so big that it's just easier to deal with. So it's important to see that when you feel bad, it's not something that you need to feel bad about feeling bad. It's not, I quite often have, when I work with people, they go like, oh, I failed. This week was so bad. I wanted to work with the distortion and not have it, but I couldn't. It kept on pushing on me, and I felt bad and I was miserable, and they think they failed, whereas in fact, we're supposed to feel our feelings. We're supposed to experience them, and by doing that, we can kind of transcend this pressure that we have towards it. See what happens in chat. Sue, Nadia, snap. I ended up in hospital as well. No, not you too, Sue. But feeling better now. I'm happy to hear that. You as well are feeling better. Jethro's here as well. Hi, Martin. Hi, everyone. Nadia, thank you, everyone. Sue, I'm glad you're better too. It's the sickest I've ever felt. Oh, my goodness. Mama, oh, there are some serious flus going on. Happy you guys feel better, Nadia and Sue. Please, you're feeling better. Yeah, the flu has been tough for many people. And it seems to last longer. Mine is over now, but it lasted a few weeks. Nothing like Nadia had it. Hey, Thomas. Nice to see you here as well. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that instead, if you're having a hard time, don't feel like you're failing. Don't feel like it's anything bad. Instead, try to see that in that pain is the Thich Nhat Hanh says this beautiful thing. He says, no mud, no lotus. Meaning you need the mud in many ways to grow. Ultimately, I don't think you need the mud, but when you're growing, you do definitely need the mud, because the contrast between the mud and the lotus is so big that it helps you see what's going on there. That's a beautiful thing to do. And I'm just thinking now when I see everyone typing like this, and it feels like, oh, it's almost like a family gathering, everyone coming together. I have been working with something last week. And since everyone here, I would like to ask, because and I spoke to Mats about this. I think is it a week ago, Mats, or maybe 2 weeks? I can't remember now. My memory's kind of dazed. I will start some kind of, I'm not sure exactly how to do this, but there will be some kind of forum so that we can communicate, because I think things like this, it's nice to know where people are. I mean, like, I'm not saying people have to say where they are. I'm just saying I know a lot of people think, where are other people, like, how's it going? And if something happens, it's nice to support each other. Sometimes people go into tough things and they don't have anyone to share with, so it would be nice to have a space where we can share that. And to begin with, I think that what I will do is, has everyone heard of something called Discord? Do you know what that is? Have you heard of the, it's like imagine, I'm old, so I say Facebook. I mean, for me, doesn't feel like that's old, but apparently Facebook is old. But imagine something similar to Facebook without pictures, and you have chat rooms where you can type things. So the idea is that this will not be a fully fledged forum. I actually have another platform that I might do that in the future, but this will be an open forum. So the idea is that I can post information about the meditations. If there's some kind of hindrance, you can find it there. I'll always type, okay, today there's not going to be any meditation because I'm gone, I'm sick, something happened. If there might be some resources there, so I might have some guided meditations or instructions for what we normally do during the meditation, so people who are new can go there for information. And I will try. I'm a little bit uncertain about how this will go, but I will try to have a section that is like a coffee room. So it's just open, meaning that anyone can go in and they can type. So if you want to type something like, hey, how's it going? Or I've experienced this, what do people think? It's not that you have to do that. It's just that it's a way for people to be able to stay in contact, because I know a lot of people in the group here, and there's a lot of people who don't come during the lives, but who actually watch it and who would want to get in there also. I see Nicole. I haven't used it, but I have heard of Discord. Discord? Never heard of it. That's much. Nadia, that's a great amount. Have you tried, like, how many people have tried Discord or who haven't tried? My for Mama, oh, that's a nice forum. Haven't been in one since like 1999, except on Facebook forums. Nice to go there and find like-minded friends and people with the same interest. Nicole, yes, good. Jack Crush, hey Jack, nice to see you. Yes, I will. I'm still working on it. There's like you can give access to different things. I will try to keep this open. So the idea is that Discord will be an open forum where there will be information, there will be resources for the meditation. I might have some links, but then it's also a place for you if you want to go in and have contact with the other people in the group, because I know One of the things I most today, after having had a tough few days, it feels such a relief to come here. I'm really happy I'm here, and I'm really happy that everyone is here. I feel better just seeing everyone's faces, not faces, but everyone's. I feel a bit touched now by seeing everyone typing. It just makes me feel, oh, it's nice. We're like a group, and we can support each other. So I would love to see what happens if we open that up, so that you too can do that, and then go in and share if you want to. And that will be a open place for now. The thing that I simply don't have enough time to moderate it, so I will ask a few people who feel like it to help moderate. Meaning, if I'm not worried about any of you, but there's other people who can come in and just act. It's weird. And I know, unfortunately, that people who are into spirituality sometimes are a little bit overboard with things, so it can get hectic on forums. So this will be open, and it will be a try. In the future, hopefully the near future, I have ideas of creating a separate forum, which will be a completely different thing, where there will be a forum which is behind some kind of paywall, like some kind of fee, not a huge fee, but just like a monthly fee, where there will be more chat. There will be monthly, every month we'll have I do coaching calls now, but then it will be a open Zoom call. So everyone who's in the forum will be able to join a Zoom call once per month, where we chat and talk, and people can ask questions, and it can be a place to, within a close community, because I think ultimately a close community is easier to make sure that it works smoothly. I have seen so many forums that kind of lose control and just explode. So that's the reason I'm a little bit hesitant of doing this, but I would really like to try, because I think it would be a great resource for everyone to be able to join to that. Let's see. Jethro, I have used Discord once a few years back. Nadia, Telegram is also great. I know I've seen Telegram, and it's popular, but I like Discord better. Telegram has its advantages as well, of course. Jack, it's not just for noble truth to live by, is it? It's not just for noble truth to live by, is it? What do you mean, Jack? In what? In regards to what? Jethro, Sue, that wouldn't surprise me. Oh wait, Susie, bro, I'd missed that one. So, there was people writing up there. I have tried Discord, Nadia said. Great idea, says Luna. Good evening. And then Thomas has tried Discord. Sue, I think Discord is one of Elon Musk's platforms. It's become very right-wing. No, not Discord. Discord is... Oh, no, wait, am I confusing it now? Well, Discord is... it's closed. So Discord is closed and open. It's basically, if you have a community, you can... I hope it's not become very right-wing. I don't know, because in my mind, Discord is closed forums. So it's basically, if we want to create a group, we can create a group, and we can have an address. We can even just limit it so the only people who come there are people who are invited. And then we have a chat channel, so it will be a channel with a name, and one will be a channel where only I can write. Oh, something just blew it down after. It will be a channel where only I can write information about the meditations, but then there will also be a channel that's open, where people can type what they want, but it's not like Twitter or X, where people... It's completely different than that. But I might be wrong. Please correct me if anyone else seen that it's a right-wing thing. Then that's a shame. Let's see. Jethro, Nadia, I really love everyone in this group and miss everyone I haven't been there. I feel the same way, Nadia. It's like I said, really, for me today, I'm almost a bit emotional about it. Sue, me too, Nadia. Perhaps a Patreon platform would be better. That's also an option. Patreon... what I want, I've found one platform that I really, really liked. They had chat rooms, so you can go in and you can chat, meaning it's basically we go in and like you're doing now, it's just a chat and it flows. But then they also had a forum part where you could go in and you could write posts. So someone has, I'm dealing with a lot of physical pain right now. Does anyone have any experience with that? And then other people can go in on that thread and they can write, oh, I've dealt with a lot of pain. What I do is I try this and that meditation, or I like doing this, or maybe even like I mean, you could say whatever you want within that thread. And then someone can start another thread. So it's a forum and a chat room. And on top of that, they have a function where you can do live broadcasting like we do now. And I could invite people up onto the stage, they call it. So basically, we'd be talking like this. I'd be sitting here doing a live stream. And then if someone writes, oh, I want to share something, then I click a button, and then you actually come up and like you can be seen for everyone else, so they see we're streaming, and then we can have a conversation. So it could be that someone's dealing with something right now, and we talk about it, discuss it like in person like that, and then everyone can join in, and then that person leaves. So they have a lot of nice functions, but it's made by it's called WOP. So it's made for this kind of tech bro crypto feeling a little bit. Everyone should start and sell a course. Oh, by the way, you can also have courses on there. So I can put up courses, I could put up seminars, everything can be done within one kind of page, which would be amazing. But like I said, it's really, I get this crypto feeling, and I don't know, everything is so nice except for that. As soon as you go onto it, they will ask you, hey guys, you should start selling a course, you should do this, because they want you to join the platform. And I don't know. There's many. I spoke to Mats about this also, and I might do a trial run in the future and ask people to have a look, because it does everything I would want to do. It means that we could have a whole umbrella. So you have one app, and then within there we could talk to people. There could be a course if you wanted to do that. There could be seminars within. Retreats within that. There could be. We could do live broadcasts where people can come up and share and talk. It has a lot of good things. So I'm still researching it a little bit, but I have pain in my neck, so I can't sit in front of the computer for too long. So everything takes a bit more time than I would want. Let's see. Mats is saying, I don't think Discord is affiliated or connected in any way with Elon Musk. I don't know, and I hope so, because then I will seriously start looking if there's another option, if it is. Jack, I was asked how many rules you have been compelled to obey as a bhikkhu. Oh, as a bhikkhu. No, then there's it's different. If you're a shaman, if you're a novice monk, then you follow, I think it's 10 precepts. I can't even remember now. There's a set of precepts there for novice monks, and then you have for a fully ordained bhikkhu, which is, I'm just going to make up a number, I think it's 242 rules. So it's a bit more. Some of them are, for instance, you're supposed to lie on your, I think, right side, because if you lie on your right side, it's supposed to not stimulate the libido so much. And one of the reasons that rule came about was because there was a young monk who was sleeping on his back, and he had an erotic dream, so he had an erection, and then some girls walked by and saw him lying in the ropes with an erection, and they started laughing. And so they wanted to prevent the Sangha from having embarrassments like that. So that rule obviously has very little to do with your practice, but it made sense from the perspective of keeping the Sangha and the image of the Sangha. So there's many different rules for many different reasons. So yes, there's a lot of rules that the bhikkhus follow. Sue, have you thought about a Patreon site? I have thought about a Patreon site also, Sue. I just don't know exactly how to do it. I mean, there's so many I have this idea of what I want to create. I really want to have this feeling we have here, like this family feeling, which I really feel, and I think many people, most of us who are here, do also, and then be able to somehow have that somewhere. I have to look into Patreon, because I know there's also, I don't know how they have forums, but I really want it to be so that it's not just, oh, come and support me and you get a few extra videos. I really want it to be something where people can find a group of like-minded people and actually enjoy being there and kind of hang out there. And if someone is having a tough time or a good time, we can share with others, because I have many friends here, and I'm blessed that I've always had people around me who are into the same kind of things, who are interested in the mind. But I know it's not like that for everyone, and it's difficult to meet people like that, especially the older you get. I find it's even more difficult now than before. So having the ability to meet everyone like that would be very nice. And I want there to be an open section, like I said, Discord, where there is no fee or anything, but anyone can actually go there. But then I think to really make it into a more of a group feeling, because there's always going to be people who come in. I'm so surprised there hasn't been any people who come in here and really try to. I mean, every now and then someone, I think once or twice, people come in and say something weird and then they leave. So they're just not attracted to it. But it's an experiment. I really want to try it. So Discord is the first step. I hope within March, by the end of March, that I'll have that up and running, so that I'll invite you first, of course, and we can try it and see how it feels. And then after that, April, I'm hoping to run the retreat. And then May, we'll see if that will be the forum. But then I have the course also. I have everything set for the course, what I want to do with it. It's just, like I said, with the neck, it's difficult for me to sit in front of a computer, so everything is kind of a little bit on slow burn. Luna, this is tech review. Exactly. That's my thought. Like I said, with this site, it's a really good site. They've made something incredible. Like I said, I'll set something up and I'll ask some people to try it and just see how it feels, because it needs to feel natural. Nicole is saying Circle platform is good. I'm actually in a Circle platform and they have a lot of good functions, but what I don't like is their app, because it's not so... I've used School, which is has a lot of disadvantages for the people running the site. Apparently it's very complicated to run the forum behind the scenes in the courses, but it's really good. The forum part that they have, it's easy to see. You can just click and you can see, okay, there's new activity here. You can clearly see what's happened and what hasn't happened. It formats the text well on a phone, whereas Circle, there's so many notifications going out and I'm having a hard time filtering. So I don't want people to feel bothered by this. It should be a natural thing, like, I just want to go and hang out a little bit, but I don't want it to be pinging and disturbing people the whole time. It should be easy to do. It should be something that's, I'm as it is right now, I've been on Circle for 2 months in that forum. And so far I'm not convinced by it. I actually like School better, even though they have many nice functions. And they probably can do much of what I wanted to do. I still don't like the layout, which that can change. And they are changing a lot of things. Bro, my Ethereum wallet is pumping. Yeah, exactly. I actually have some Ethereum. But very little. We're not talking about any single digits here. I'll take a look at that, Nicole. Jack, walking on the right foot. Walking on the right foot. Yeah, maybe that's a thing also. Luna, the guy can buy anything he wants, so what's not his today, can be his tomorrow. It's I don't want to get into politics so much, but I wanted to share something that I think about a lot, which is I work with children, right? I worked very closely before, at least I don't do it now, but I work with children who had issues at school and who would stay home from school for years, and they have troubles. Many times there was some kind of diagnosis with a few letters, and they had a really hard time. So they made trouble at school, and as a parent, before I work with those kids, I would have said, I could just get them away. If they're arguing and like hitting my child, making a fight at school, just put them away, kind of just put them away. They're not allowed to go into school. But then when I work with them, I realized that many times they were misunderstood. There was so much more to the problem than we thought when we just see from the outside. And the second part is, what then? It's a human being. If we just push them out, they're going to go, are they not going to go to school? In Sweden, you have to go to school until the 9th grade. So they have to go to school somewhere. Are we going to put all the bad people in one school? Is that more likely to make them turn into good people? Or is that more likely to make them turn into crime and drugs and misbehavior? Or will we try to integrate them? Again, it's very complicated to think of these things, and it's so easy to say, they just take from our resources, just throw them out. Yeah, but what happens then? If we push those... I have kids, one of the kids that I was very close to and worked with a lot, he was home for 3 years. It was really bad. He just didn't leave his room for a year because he was in such bad shape. And he couldn't talk to people. When I met him, he didn't know how to joke. He was like a child, even though he was much older. And now he's gone to school. He's got a stable job, working with his hands, and he drinks and smokes. The smoking, I wish he didn't, but he does. He drives around in a Volvo with what we call a raggarplanka. It's in the trunk of the car, like these big speakers, like, and he's the sweetest, and he looks really good. Like he went from like being a little bit overweight to like just this tall young man who's just smiling, and he's just like, Martin, I don't know what was wrong. I don't know why I was like that, but yeah, it just seems so like someone else. So by helping him, by supporting him, by spending money on him, he is now part of society, and he's a beautiful child, like I'm so proud of him. I always had this dream that I would sometime in the future run into him in town and see him with the children and a wife and happy. Because I saw him when he was really bad, and seeing someone go from that to something else, and he appreciated life so much more than other people. So, yeah, in regards to just, oh, we're just going to effectivize? No, what do you call that? When you make everything effective and just like throw away, it's people we're talking about. And when you push those people out, they're going to have problems. When they have problems, they're going to turn to things that we don't want them to do, which is crime and drugs and misbehavior in society. We want people who are happy, because if you're happy and enjoying yourself, you're less likely to go and steal from someone, mug someone, rape someone, hurt someone. It's bizarre that that's such a foreign concept. It's instead of just throwing everyone in jail, maybe we should like try to help them so they don't get there in the first place. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that too much, but I feel very strongly about helping people who have a hard time, because when you do, first of all, it's one of the most incredible feelings you can have is to actually help people, and it helps you in so many ways to do that also. And I think society is a better place when we stand up for those who have it difficult. Let's see. Jack, sleeping on the right side. Jethro, I am heavily invested in Buddha coin. Oh, I wonder if there's a Buddha coin. That would be hilarious. Mats, did I miss that boat? Yeah, I think we did. Luna Club, it's never too late to gamble all your savings on crypto. Exactly, Mats. Cool. So, as always, I enjoy these little chats. And for those of you who are new, Mondays, it's Monday today. We chat a little bit before. After that, we do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, which is a method to bring ourselves back to our senses, to really experience the reality around us. And today's Monday, so we'll have a guided meditation. It's quite late and I'm quite tired, but there will be a short question and answer after if anyone has any questions. Luna saying she's going to lose all her money on crypto in an hour. I can really go that fast. I believe you. So the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method is a way of observing through your senses without having an emotional relationship to the thing we're watching. It's in a way trying to see reality without concepts. If you've ever been with a child, you see that they walk around and they look at things and they go, wow, this is, this is amazing. Like if you're a child and you're watching this is incredible. Look at this thing. There's this lights and shadows, surfaces, and there's like all these things going around, and there's some like this white thing here with small markings on it. And really seeing this as a child, they would look at this and they would then smell it, and then obviously if you have kids, you know, they taste everything and lick everything, because they don't have the sense of like, oh, I know that, okay, obviously I shouldn't eat this, it's not edible. But a child doesn't know that, so they explore the world with their senses, and there's this sense of curiosity or naivete or childishness in that I don't know what this is, so I want to explore it. And that's what we're trying to get to with these exercises, is that we're trying to become not regress in our intelligence, meaning I know this is a USB cable, I even know that it's a USB-C cable with a high bit rate because it's used for a monitor. So I know a lot of information about it, but that doesn't mean I have to have a feeling, okay, this is a good cable, I like this cable. I can still observe it just for what it is, which is shapes, textures, and there's this thing here. I can do that with it. So we're trying to observe with our senses in the smallest detail that we can without putting, it's wrong to say just putting labels, without putting any a relationship to it. We're trying to see it naked like a child, like naked like a child, bare as a child would see things. Because for them everything is new, which is why I always said, my fiancée, she wanted to take the kids to these amusement park when they were smaller, and I said, there's no point. When they're 1 or 2 yeyears old, we go to the supermarket and they go, wow, look at all these like neon lights and signs and stuff everywhere. It's amazing for them. For them it's not this is good, this is bad. Okay, so I'll continue. So say it out aloud when you see something, and it's important to stop and really observe. It would be better if you just looked at one thing than doing all of them. I see a cardboard box. Again, I'm trying to become curious about what I'm seeing. Not trying as in, oh, I want to be curious, but just open to seeing it anew. And it can happen sometimes and then it disappears, but just observe, kind of. I see a red roll of security tape. Lots of reflections on that one. Very cool. I see a plant. I see a computer fan. And I see a pair of keys. That was 5 things that I could see. Next we take 4 things that we can feel. And it's the same thing here. I feel the brass bell. I can feel the temperature on my finger. I can feel the smoothness. I can feel the grooves of the bell when I'm running my finger over it. And there's there's different, I mean, when you look at it, it looks completely uniform, but when I feel it with my fingers, I can feel that there's actually a little bit uniformity in it. It's not completely even. And there's different stuff on the surface that makes the drag more or less. Which is something that most of the time we take this, we don't even look at the things around me or feel the things around me. We just, oh, so, yeah, I know what that is. So by slowing things down and really observing the details of what we're observing, which is a bit different from Buddhism, which basically says that the world around you is not something you should engage with in that way, because it's nothing to be attached to. This kind of goes against that a bit, because what I'm saying is that by observing the world around you with your senses and seeing that it is beautiful, the beautifulness comes from not being attached in one way to it. It comes from not having a relationship with it, but actually seeing it anew like a child. Cool thing. I feel this. This is actually the cushion where the bell stands on. Lots of different textures. There's surfaces, curvature. Yeah. I feel the hair on my arm. And if I hold my hand above my arm, I can feel it even though I'm not feeling it. Whether that's radiated heat or if it's energy or something else, electricity, I can still feel it on my arm. Very interesting. If you have a partner, you can sit with closed eyes and just feel each other and just run your hands over each other. It's a very grounding experience to really feel your partner without like any sexual thing behind it, but just actually feeling and touching someone is something we don't do so much, and it's very soothing and calming to have someone that you can hold or just touch. 4 things that I could feel. Next we have 3 things that we can hear. Same thing here, we listen to details and nuances within the sounds that we hear. So I hear I can hear the hens sitting outside my office. There's something dripping. And I hear fan noise. There's one slow and there's one more high-pitched in the background somewhere. I think there was 3 sounds. I'll do one more. I hear car tires on asphalt. Next, we do 2 things that we can smell, and these 2 last ones is some senses we just don't use very often. But if you smell, see, I smell. Oh, I have that little having a cold smell. You know, there's your not mucus, the saliva or the stuff in your nose just has a bit of scent of when you have a cold. There's also oh yeah, I can smell, that's an interesting smell. It's the brass, the bell, because I smelled metal. It has a very distinct scent. And it's on my fingers. Two things that I could smell. Next we take one thing that we can taste. It tastes a bit like melon. I haven't eaten any melon, but there's a flavor of some kind of melon. Maybe it's pumpkin. I did have pumpkin soup, so probably pumpkin. So for this meditation, I want you to put yourself in a comfortable position. Now this could be sitting down cross-legged. You could be sitting in a chair. You could be lying down in your bed, standing up, or you could even be walking if you pay attention and it's not somewhere where you could be hurt. But the main thing is that you're in a position that's comfortable for you. This is not about experiencing anything in particular or trying to get our body to do anything. It's just a way for us to be aware of our breath. Okay. I apologize. Something's happening with my computer. I'm very sorry. Just bring your awareness back to your breath. Apparently a cable was lying on my trackpad on my computer, so everything was bouncing around and shutting down. Just bring your awareness to your breath and be aware of yourself breathing. The whole idea behind this is that we're not trying to control our breath. We're not trying to make our breath do anything in particular. Instead, we're learning how to observe the breath without controlling it. The breath has a natural rhythm that it lulls itself into when you just observe it. And it's something that you can observe to then in turn observe what's happening inside of you. There's many techniques that focus solely on just observing your breath, and there is so much that you will be able to tell about your inner state, about how you're relating to the world around you by observing your breath. It can help you when you're stressed, it can help you when you're uncertain, and it can even help you to see how you're feeling about things around you, because your breath reflects a lot of what's going on inside of us. So moving your awareness to your breath and being aware of breath happening, it's something that you will take with you for the rest of your life. The awareness of breath happening. In contrast to trying to control our breath, what we're doing then is we're trying to change what's happening inside of us and turn ourselves towards more energy is usually what's done with breath work. So that's can be a really powerful and good technique to do for certain things, but in this case we're trying to create something a bit softer and more long-lasting, which is awareness of breath happening as it is throughout the day. Now when you observe the breath, you'll notice that there's an in-breath and there's a short turnaround before the out-breath. And then there's a pause. And this pause is something that when I was meditating, I noticed that my mind would always drift off in that pause because there's no sensation happening, there's no action, there's nothing moving, there's just stillness, quietness. And that's usually when the mind comes in and wants to analyze or run away with some thoughts or ideas or come up with solutions or criticize or blame or feel good about things. So to make it a little bit easier to not do that, we count our breaths. And we count it from 1 to 8 and then down again from 8 to 1. And we put the number in that pause between breaths, because that's where you're most likely to drift off into your thoughts and your distortions. So for the first one, I will do one breathing cycle with you, and then you can continue by yourself, and I will join you later on to give some other tips or thoughts about what's happening. So to begin with, we breathe in and out. 1. In and out. 2. In and out. 3. In and out. 4. In and out. 5. In and out. 6. In and out. 7. In and out. 8. In and out. 7. In and out. 6. In and out. 5. In and out. 4. In and out. 3. In and out. 2. In and out. 1. Now keep on counting your breaths from 1 to 8 and then down again from 8 to 1 as you breathe in and out. 1. In and out. One of the most common things that people get stuck with when they're meditating, one of the things that makes most people stop, is self-criticism. It's the idea that you are not good enough at doing meditation. It's the idea that someone else is better than you and you should have it the same way. It's also the idea that things should be different. Because you're doing this meditation because you want to feel different, and for some reason you're not feeling better. You're not feeling the way that you wanted to feel. And so it makes sense to think that you're doing something wrong. And then you start blaming yourself because you should be breathing deeper, breathing faster, having better energy, or maybe it's karma from your past life that is ruining your current meditation. There's all kinds of reasons and explanations as to how you can sabotage and really make yourself feel bad. And I understand. I've done that myself so much. And it's a natural thing to do. But it's also one of the dumbest things you can do if you actually want to meditate and become good at it, because the way you get better at meditation is to be kind to yourself, is to be accepting. We spend so much time focusing being kind on other people and being perceived as a kind person, but so little time being kind to ourselves, being accepting of ourselves, caring about ourselves. And I don't mean that in an excessive way. I just mean that while you're sitting there now, observing your breath, and maybe you're having a tough meditation, and you think it should be different, release all of that tension. Release the pressure that comes from thinking that you need to be different, and just accept it's difficult. This is not a pleasant sitting. Today, my meditation is not very nice. But I do the thing that I'm here to do, which is just to observe the breath as it's going out and going in. There's no need to talk down to yourself, because you wouldn't do that to a friend who sat next to you. If someone, after we're doing this, would type out and say, "Oh, I had such a tough meditation," would you type, "Oh, you suck. You are so bad at meditating. Oh my goodness, why do you even keep doing this? If you're having a hard meditation, you should probably just stop." You very likely wouldn't say that to someone else, so why do you say that to yourself? Why is it not okay for you to have a hard time? Why is it not okay for you to fail, to not be able to stay positive or keep up the mood? So as you're observing your breath, be kind to yourself. Give yourself credit. Give yourself understanding that it's not always easy, and that's okay. Because tomorrow it will be different. And if not tomorrow, maybe next minute. And if not next minute, maybe next week. But always have your own back. Always be kind to yourself as you're observing your breath, going in and out. 1, in and out. for the last few minutes, I want you to work with a question. Just ask yourself this one question and see what comes up. It's not about finding an answer. It's about observing what happens when you ask the question. And it's simply asking yourself, what is my next feeling? What is the next thing I feel? And then wait. If you want to, feel free to keep on sitting, or you can also share if you have any questions or something you want to share. I apologize for the confusion in the beginning. My computer, I had my the mouse cord, or the cord for my Stream Deck was lying on top of the touchpad. So the the streams were going big, small, and like, and I thought, oh my goodness, someone's hacking me, taking over my computer. But it was just the cable that was touching it. See, I hope I'm actually still online so that it didn't just disappear. I think it's still working. But yeah, feel free to drink a cup of tea or share if you have anything you want to share. Mats, heading out rather timely today. Have a good night, everyone. You too, Mats. Nice to have you here. And thank you for the help for our conversation last week, or the week before. I see Jethro is saying, I sometimes feel faint immediately after coming out of a sit. It's a similar feeling to low blood pressure. Is this common? Well, it depends on a little bit what it is. When you say faint, what does that mean? Do you mean that you're feeling a little bit woozy, or that it's almost like a bit groggy, like waking up, or in what way is it fainty feeling? Something that can happen is that Sue, I'm tired thoughts tonight, so I'm off as well. Thanks, Martin. Have a good week. You too, Sue. See you. So what can happen is that when we sit, sometimes we go into these, like, let's just call them deeper states, or states where you're in concentration states, is what I would call them, where you really focus and you kind of become almost a little bit groggy, and you get really, really relaxed. So imagine that you're taking some kind of anesthesia, and you go like this kind of. So it's not sleeping, but it's you going very relaxed and very calm. See, Jethro is saying, it's when I get deeply relaxed. Yeah, exactly. During the meditation, it's faint as in literally needing to get low light. Yeah. So imagine you're so relaxed and so kind of like this, and then you open up and you try to. It can take some time for the shift of the brain. Very likely, if you're feeling that, it could also be that when you wake up in the morning, I would guess you're not a person who goes like that. Oh, I'm awake. Everything's running like normal. Because the shift between the gears kind of can take some time to getting used to, and it's different for different people. Some people probably don't feel it so much, but I've had that as well sometimes when I sit, and I actually wake up quite easily in the morning, but at periods it can be so deep that I'm just not really there. So getting back into experience, okay, this is my arm and I'm moving, and that can make you feel a little bit woozy. So it's almost like you're out of sync a bit with yourself, and that can make you feel a bit faint. So it's absolutely nothing that I would worry about. That's just normal. I mean, unless it continues for a long period of time after you sit, then it might be something to look into, but that's usually not something. I mean, I don't think I've heard of that. Meditation doesn't usually make you worse. It can make things that are already inside of you come out, so it makes you feel worse. Like that can definitely happen, especially when you have things pushed up and they come down. But something like this, I wouldn't give it much thought. Is just be aware of it, kind of, and act accordingly. I think in general, meditation, people make it into this big thing that's so magical and so different. But it's just like, just be pragmatic about it, and use common sense. A lot of people sit with pain. I mean, I've sat with insane amounts of pain in my meditation, and it's very useful. But if you have pain for a long period of time after you sit, then it's not a good thing to do. Don't push yourself more than you can handle. Sometimes you'll sit and there's all these difficult... Yeah, it just passes in 5 minutes. It's perfect. Sometimes you sit and there's all these difficult things that come up, and it feels almost as if you're just falling into a black hole, and it's just, wow, it's completely overwhelming. Open your eyes. Just stop sitting. It's not... I say this often in my guided meditation, especially when I'm doing it in person. I always say that there's no prize. Like, no one's going to get a medal at the end of their meditation. It's like, good work. You sat through with a lot of pain. I mean, the ego wants to, the self wants to say, oh, wow, did you see all the pain I sat through? Did you see all that crap that I was kind of surfing through? And it's like, there's no medal. It's just be reasonable. Don't be an idiot, and don't take on more than you can handle, because it can get to the point where it's more than you can handle, and that can be very, very scary to do. And I have people all the time who message me and say that they've gotten into situations that are complicated for them to handle, or they read so much into their experiences and they get kind of lost in this whole thing. So just be kind to yourself. Luna saying, thank you for the sitting, Martin. Have a good... I have to go. Yeah, perfect. Again, everyone, thank you so much for coming. And today was really nice for me to meet everyone. I felt before, I was like, oh, I am so looking forward to coming and sit again with everyone. And it was actually nice that so many people were here today. So I will keep you posted about what happens with Discord. I basically set the whole thing up. I just want to make sure I understand how it actually works, because I'm not completely sure about that. And I'll let you know when that's happening. I will see everyone on Thursday, and I wish you all a great week. Thank you.